Welcome everyone to the Midnight Frogs podcast. Today we're celebrating the release of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Abridged remake. Today I'm joined by Yoshi
Hello, hello.
and Vorhias.
Hoi.
So to bring people up to speed on things that have happened since I decided to end the Midnight Frogs and then the next day decided not to end the Midnight Frogs, some things have changed between me and Yoshi. We've decided not to necessarily stop working together full stop. We decided to go ahead and do the Fire Red version, and we had so much fun doing it. We decided we're not quite done working together. We still have at least one more Pokemon one shot left in us. We're planning to do Pokemon Origins Abridged.
Mhm.
Travis and I are going to do X and Y Abridged. There's probably going to be other things that we're going to continue working on. We're going to keep doing the Straw Hat Note. It's just generally we're just going to limit what we work on.
Right.
But the next thing probably that's going to come from the Midnight Frogs will be either SFA 21 or Tamers 2, depending on who I can get together with first. And Yoshi can be involved in that as well,
Alrighty.
since I know you enjoy Tamers so much.
I love it. And Davis is my favorite character from that fucking episode. He only had like 2 lines, but he was the best character to be.
I actually couldn't decide which I wanted to do more, SFA or Tamers, because I just threw in that bit at the end with Davis and PMDA, and I was like, now I want to do Tamers.
I kind of forgot about that bit. Like, I remember that Henry's dad, but when you showed me the clip, it sidewinded me because I totally forgot about Davis.
That's because he wasn't in the script.
Yeah, we didn't write that, so that's why I was so surprised.
Right now, I'm working on getting a new computer, one that can actually stream gameplay and stream music decently for the pre-show for these podcasts, because it is terrible right now. When that happens, there's going to be a lot more gameplay things that'll be going up on the Straw Hat No, so there won't just be 1 to 3 videos every week tops. There'll be actually more consistent update schedule. I think we already went over this in one of the Let's Plays, or maybe not. Like, what's the status with Punch-Out?
Okay, so for those who don't know, I had a hard drive and it went to shit. And around that time, that's when I got the new capture card that all the people we got from Patreon. After I got Mario Kart 8, I started recording with it. And it turns out it's actually pretty solid. It looks pretty good. I recorded a bit of Mario Kart 8 footage. I have like a couple silly videos on Tumblr. And I put up the me jumping over the blue shell on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And that was straight up luck, by the way. So I've been doing some tests right now. I think Punch Out is probably going to happen very, very soon. I just have to figure out a couple of things because Punch Out is a game that requires a lot of timing, and I kind of want to play it on the big screen because when you record off a capture card, the way I'm doing it right now is that I have to plug the HDMI cable right into my tower, and then the game is on a small screen on my monitor, and I don't know if I need like a splitter or something, but I want to play on my HD TV and record at the same time. So when I figured that out, that's when I can just start doing it. Because Punch Out is a game I can do easily. I can do it in like 6, 7 videos. So after I do Punch Out, which I'll be starting, I'm getting to work on that. I'm gonna do Punch Out. After that, I'm gonna move on to Pikmin 3, which, since there's no underground segments, is actually gonna be shorter than Pikmin 2. But we'll see how I play. After that, I'll start doing Wind Waker HD. But we also started talking that we talked about how maybe I could alternate and do both, like how he does Majora's Mask and Kuni. And so we've been talking. Oh well, maybe I could do Pikmin 3 and Wind Waker. But seeing how Pikmin 3 is going to be the shorter game by far, we'll just see what happens. But Punch Out is coming soon.
I mostly just want to do that so I can have Wind Waker on the same thread as Majora's Mask. And at this point, Majora's Mask is probably going to be long done by the time Wind Waker comes around.
Yeah, and seeing how I'm the one playing the Zelda title and I never go for 100%, it's probably gonna there isn't gonna be any collection videos or anything from my side. It's just gonna be straight up the story or anything that I want to get myself. The whole treasure map thing and getting the charts and all that other stuff is it's neat, but it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
And like, if you do everything, you don't get like a message or like, hey, way to go, or it's just like, well, keep playing.
I do intend to show some stuff that they took out of the HD version from the original, mostly like speedrun glitches.
Oh yeah,
There are some insane speedrun glitches in Wind Waker.
Yeah, they got rid of Super Swim and like what was it, bottle catching or something like that, where they had to like was it stocking? I forget what it was called.
Storage.
Storage, that was it. Stocking.
I don't know how they come up with these names.
It's
Yeah,
like
because there's that section in Wind Waker where you work at the supermarket.
Exactly.
it's like the people who come up with like those like fighting game terminology. Oh, this is wave dashing. This is L canceling. This is pushing a fucking button. Just shit.
Pushing a fucking button is for noobs.
This is butter snorting. All that shit. I made a post like about. I made a joke post on Tumblr that actually caught on. It was a text post saying like, "Oh yeah, these are all the cool new Smash Brothers forward techniques." Because I played the demo at Best Buy and I just made up a whole bunch of shit and people loved it. Well, one of the other things I wrote was Tony Hawking, and then I wrote under it, "It's too cool to explain."
See, that actually sounds like that could be a term.
Another one I wrote was cheese scissors. Let me just put the fucking thing.
What?
I'll just give me a second. I'll get it.
In the meantime, another thing that I'm working on, separate from the Midnight Frogs, I'm narrating a web novel called Summoner Origins. Apparently, it's a prequel to a novel that the author wrote. It's going to be up on his YouTube channel, A.G. McDonald, Mac MAC. That should be debuting this month, like sometime next week. So keep an eye out for it. Should be interesting. I might even look up the original novel because I don't know. I know fuck all about the whole thing. So, but yeah, if you like my narrator voice, it's pretty much all that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, we need to read this.
All right, I'll read it out loud. Since I played a 2-minute demo of Smash Bros. For Wii U at Best Buy, that technically makes me more skilled than anyone else who hasn't played it, which clearly and obviously makes me a top Smash Brothers 4 competitive player. That's a game too. In those 2 minutes, I found every secret technique you'll need in order to be really good. Here's a list of brand new techniques that will soon become a staple in competitive Smash tournaments. Ledge grabbing. This allows the player to grab the ledge when they are no longer on the stage and they need to get back. Punching and kicking. It seems as though every character can do this now. Punching the other player in the face when you're losing. Self-explanatory. Glue snapping. These are code words for hitting your opponent once and then running away before they can get you, aka sonicking. Wave waving. Remember that slidey thing from Melee? Well, you still can't do that. So just wave your hand in front of the other players' faces. Unplugging the controller in mid-fight. It's this cool new mechanic in the game that disables the opponent's movements. It's like Naruto or some shit. Feet footing. You can go fast by tapping the control stick in one direction. Cheese scissors. This is when you put your feet up on your opponent's controller. They'll have no choice but to touch your legs. Tony Hawking. Tony Hawking. It's too cool to explain. And finally, butter snorting. This is a last resort. If you're losing the match, you can just start breakdancing. The opponent will be mesmerized and will forfeit the match and give you mad props. Follow these rules and you'll look super cool in front of nerds. Telling you, you guys gotta do this. I should know. I played a 2-minute demo. That's unavailable now.
Fucking get on it, competitive gamers.
Jesus.
This guy's leading the way to the world of tomorrow day.
Thank you.
World of Tomorrow Day.
I know, I'm the greatest. And then when the game comes out, watch the list be somewhat similar. I'll laugh.
Thing is, glue snapping almost sounds like something that would be a technique.
I think that was the comment I got the most. Like, glue snapping that's not a thing already? And I'm like, no. So enough about that.
Yeah. Let's move on to PMDA Fire Red version.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, this is yet another completely batshit script. It's kind of like the original in that we just did it. There wasn't much rhyme or reason to it.
I would say it was even more batshit than the original.
The original was batshit to its detriment.
The one thing we realized while we were watching like the episode again after we found the Raw after 5 million years, we were watching it and we were like, a lot of nothing happens here.
There really is no point to it.
It's like, oh no, he's kidnapped, let's save him, and then we did. Like that's the whole story.
Let's go save Pikachu. We want to save Pikachu first. We're gonna be dicks about it.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, we got our asses kicked. I guess we're fine.
But like another thing is like, oh hey, let's lock up the little brother and save the older one. Like, what the fuck is the point?
Hey everybody, I'm a MacGuffin.
Except I'm not. Shit.
Also, what's a MacGuffin?
After watching it again, I had like so many questions that I didn't like think about the first time. My number one is how did Skarmory tie a Pikachu if it doesn't have any hands, like with a vine?
That's a very good question.
Around the rock.
Pokemon powers?
Well, one of the very first things we ended up dropping was immediately the 4Kids thing because, come on, everybody's done that. It's if we were to do it again, it'd be saying a whole lot of nothing.
Which is why that scene is so short in comparison.
It's funny.
Yeah, we ended up making them weaker and lamer, actually. Like in the original, they had moves. Here, they don't.
Well, like in the original, the original parody, rather, the 4Kids thing only came about because we just joked Skarmory dive bombed singing the One Piece rap, and then that spiraled out of control, and we just didn't give a shit.
How the hell did that even come about? Jesus.
One of us did. It was probably me.
Huh.
I take responsibility for that.
It sounds like a thing I would do because it's One Piece.
Yeah, but it's the shitty One Piece.
Okay. How did that happen? I need. Okay. Anyway.
I have the recordings. I'll look over it later.
All right.
We did keep a few things from the original. We kept the whale, of course,
The whale.
because there wasn't really any other way we wanted to do them.
Pretty much. And, I saw a comment that he was a little underplayed this time, and yeah, he was. He's the whale.
Yeah. The whale's kind of a prick in this one.
He was a prick in both. It's more obvious this time.
Yeah, here he's like here you laughed at Pichu. Just, my brother's been kidnapped. I mean, oh.
Well, in this one, it just sort of feels like, he doesn't even care if he looks like a prick. I mean, at least in the first one, it just kind of seemed like he was trying to be subtle about it.
Well, look, Eliza, just look at the pond he's in. That's the most he can swim. That's all he has in his life. Just that little pond. He can't get out. I'd be a dick to everybody, too, if I couldn't experience my life.
You will never know the joys of joy.
But then, then at the end, it kind of gets subverted because he's just like, then he grew feet and started shooting them.
That's right.
So, it does have a happy ending in a way, kind of.
For him.
For him. He'll probably still be a dick, though, but, at least he has feet. So revisiting it again, like with the Fire Red version, since we've been doing parodies for so long, we kind of have the mindset of like, oh, we can change absolutely anything now. Before we didn't really think about it, we kept the Explorer thing, but at this time we thought like, well, do they have to be explorers in our version? They could be literally anything; it doesn't matter. And one of the first things I came up with was that they were action mailmen, and how like. The thing is, every day, like every Pokemon just goes to a hat and they pick out the job and that's what they get. And superheroes just happen to be what they had for the day, and that's why they rescued Pikachu. And it only took one whole year.
And in the time in between, they never had to take a new job from the hat?
Yep.
Or is it just like, since they've been gone so long, now they need to take like 25 cards out of the hat now?
Well, they jumped off a cliff. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I like how they willingly followed him, though. Like, all right, Charmander knows what he's doing.
Oh, another thing that we kept was I have warts on my dick.
Yeah. In your words, you were like, it's a staple. We need it needs to come back. It's part of the mystery dungeon.
Just not the same without the warts on the dick. It's like a completely different entity.
Charmander does sound a little more aware that it's not a great thing to have this time. That's kind of the thing with Charmander. In the first one, he's just utter batshit. He'll say anything. It never makes sense. He's a little more grounded this time, but I think that helps make the weird things he says funnier. Because now they're even more out of nowhere.
My favorite bit with Charmander was when they were in the cave. just
wailing on rocks.
And then he got mad at a rock. Then we kept going, and he found another rock. And then it went on for an hour. But then suddenly it went on for another hour.
My personal favorite was every time someone pronounced good.
That isn't good.
I just like how everything was like almost everything was downplayed now. Like how Kangaskhan like just has like, a bag of sticks and some napkins. And then they're like, oh boy, do they have powers? And she's like, I didn't tell you to wear them. I just said that I had napkins. Like even the three idiots, Snake, Ghost, Yoga.
We kept Pikachu's misanimated eyes. And the whoa!
Yeah.
That one was kind of downplayed too this time.
Yeah. I like it better this time. It's a little more cartoony this time. Whoa, that's dark.
Yeah.
Pikachu was also another one of my favorites. I just love the delivery. I'm gonna die. And like in the end, like he looks so happy that I'm gonna die. It killed me.
He's just like, my life.
Be strong for Pikachu. Don't expose.
Don't let him see your tears. Don't let him see your tears. Be brave for Pichu.
But the stupid thing with Pichu's arms are over the vine. He could have got out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And also, it's just a vine. You're telling me they can't break it or electrocute it? Skarmory must have the best tying skills.
I figure if Skarmory went to all that trouble to tie them up with no hands, it would be rude for them to break out.
They're just there because they feel bad for
Basically.
Skarmory hasn't had a guest in 5 years. Just come on.
Just humor him. Just humor him. Oh no, we're trapped. We can't get out. Just give it like a couple more minutes. It'll be fine. Oh no, help, save us.
Then 5 more minutes of her rant, and you're like, oh, this is why she's never had guests.
Could have left. Fuck this. This is bullshit.
Just give it 5 more minutes. 5 minutes of ranting. Maybe just 2.
One of my favorite jokes in the entire thing. My only reply. She doesn't even get a chance to say her final words.
You don't even get it. We had Skarmory die in the original, right?
Yeah. In the special, she comes back and she's normal, but
She's like back to normal, but we killed her. We kept that. But it's just better this time. You don't even get anything.
and they kill her with a box.
With the box this time. I just love how it bounced off of her and then like off the beak too.
That's just because it ended up looking like that while I was editing, and I thought I'll just go with it now.
It worked though.
Another thing, the bit I was gay for 5 seconds. We did that joke, and then after the thing came out, I kind of stopped and thought about it for a little bit. My thing was always, if gayness or whatever comes in as a joke or whatever, the joke is never laugh because we said gay or something. In this, it's definitely much more. Your sexuality does not work that way. You cannot be gay for 5 seconds and then immediately not be gay. Your brain doesn't work that way.
Well, I figured that it shouldn't have like offended anybody or nothing, because like the episode starts with him getting hit by a train and then he says, "Now I'm a Pokemon." Like, okay, now the guy doesn't have any credibility to whatever the fuck he's saying. Now you're listening to the ramblings of a madman. Like, who says that?
And it's Henry's dad. Like, we haven't really seen Henry yet, but...
And that's another thing. It's just a story. So who cares?
Once you guys actually know how Henry is in Tamers Abridged, like, you will wonder what spawned that. Next, Snake Ghost Yoga.
Snake Ghost Yoga.
The entire team is the most depressing thing in this. As we mentioned, in the original parody and in the original special, they're called Team Meanies. They're completely useless.
Yeah, they're just bully. Like I know it's a kid's show, but it's like, really, Meanies? That's what you're going with? And it's like that in the game too.
Is it?
Yeah, like your rivals in the first one for the Game Boy Advance, it's like Team Meanies are your rivals. And it's like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
They may think they are, but they're not.
They're just lonely people.
We're just humoring them.
I mean, if that's what you're gonna call yourself, do you really think you're gonna get anywhere?
We're team antagonist. I'm sure you are.
We're team nobody likes us. Well, like, that works.
And in the first BMDA, we were so creeped out by Medicham that we refused to give her any lines. And we still didn't give her any real lines this time. But...
It's just, you're a lamp. There you go.
You're a lamp.
I think my favorite thing about them is just how they introduce themselves with Ekans. Just
He doesn't have any lines either.
Until the end.
Well, yeah, he's a snake.
Yeah.
Hey, have some good food there. I haven't eaten. Bye-bye.
That's a line I liked a lot. I haven't eaten since I was born.
A ghost.
And then our heroes kill them off. That's what happened, by the way. The fruit killed them.
They're the real meanies.
Charmander's. I ate my piece of the fruit.
Why do you think you jumped off a cliff?
Oh, that just makes the fruit even worse. What the suicide berry? Like, is that a thing? Oh no.
That's what they thought was a grenade in the first one.
Yeah, it was a grenade. That was another line I loved. Just, all right, guys, we divided the food into 2 groups: can eat and non-edible.
He could have just happened to have been at the edge of the cliff when he died from the berry, and everyone just assumed he jumped off.
But then how did he get to the hospital?
How did I get? But yeah, we just kind of made them just really, really depressing. Because like all 3 of them are bigger than the main heroes, so like aren't they like adults or something? And they act like dicks for no reason.
We're the real heroes.
We need to save Pikachu. No, we want to. That's another thing I love. It was like, well, we can't have 2 teams go after them. Why not?
Just can't.
No.
No.
And that's true to the games too, because you pick a mission and you just go like nobody else can. It's just you.
So the deal with Henry's dad, going back to him, we actually hadn't planned at all what to do with Henry's dad in Tamers Abridged yet. I don't think he shows up for a good long while. Like, that clip is from episode 16, I think.
Jeez.
It was near the end of writing that I kind of realized this whole thing is so insane. And we had Squirtle narrating the whole thing, so we know there's just some kind of unreliable narrator going on. How are we going to wrap this up in a way that just doesn't make it feel like a bunch of senseless nonsense? Which it is, but it'll give a reason for the senseless nonsense. And I thought maybe one of the characters from Tamers Abridged is actually Squirtle. And I was just looking through my Tamers videos. I clicked on a random one and I saw Henry and his dad talking, and I thought, how about his dad? That's perfect. And since I kind of wanted Yoshi to voice all of the dads already in kind of the same voice, it was perfect.
The thing that sealed the deal, as soon as he said Henry's dad, because we were talking about how Henry worked, I was like, yes, please, that has to happen. And Henry's dad just sounds like Rainbow from Dash and Twilight.
So does Staccato's dad.
Personally, I just like that one statement. Yoshi voices all the dads. Because Yoshi is all the dads.
That just made it hilarious to me, because like we're crossing over Pokemon and Digimon.
Yeah.
I think we had wait, was that actually in the episode when he said, "Oh, I'll tell you about the time I was in the Jetters"? That was in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was only a few things that weren't in the script that went in.
Right. There was a couple things we cut up. It was just like minor things that wouldn't really have changed anything.
Like Davis.
But Davis is important. Come on.
Whoa, cats!
Cats. As soon as I heard that, I was like, I have to sit in for this. Please, Davis, go on. Whoa, cats. What can you possibly say after that?
Speaking of Tamers and everything, I was recording with Code. She pointed out something interesting. This is one of our least sweary videos, miraculously. There's a few in there, but it's our least.
I think it makes sense because a dad is telling his son a story that makes absolutely no sense. And like, isn't Henry like 12 or something? 13, teen, at least young teen.
Probably preteen.
Around there. So, if you're a dad, you don't want your kid swearing all the time unless you just don't care about that.
And knowing Henry's dad, he probably doesn't.
Guess he just forgot.
Hi, Car.
I liked it too.
That was my favorite part.
And final thing on the list, the Charmander song in the credits. Somebody commented that they thought it was a reference.
I think they said it was from Codename Kids Next Door.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I think he's like, I think number 4 is like Buried in the Sand, and he sings something similar to that. Or he did, or I don't remember, but I just remember like we were like in a podcast and that just came about. Or was it before we did it? Because I know we mentioned it in a podcast and we got Code to sing it too. It's like an old one though. It's forever ago.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just know that it wasn't my intention when I wrote it, because that song is from the abandoned Charmander the musical thing we were gonna do after the original parody. That song is from like November 2010. That shit is old.
Charmander the musical.
Charmander the musical. We only wrote 2 songs, and we didn't even finish the second one. The "Din-na-na-na-na" thing was one of them. Like the context in that, right before it, Charmander is singing a parody of the radio song from Basketball, which we were kind of fixated on at the time. And at the end of that, Charmander gets run over by the truck, and he gets sent to the hospital, and he's just sitting in his hospital bed, swinging his arms around, doing din-na-na-na-na. But in this, the context is he jumped off a cliff. Yes, Charmander the musical. It was a suggestion by somebody in the chat. Whoever it was, we don't forgive you. At least part of it survived. Yeah, I'm glad we at least got to do that. The Basketball radio parody, we didn't finish it. We only did like the intro, and then Charmander gets run over by a truck. But that's everything on the list.
One of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to get Travis to like write with us, but he wasn't available at the time.
Yeah. He and I are going to write X and Y Abridged. We're still planning to do that. And when Yoshi and I do Origins Abridged, we're going to try to bring him into that as well. But if he doesn't get in it, he doesn't get in it. It's not too much of a big deal. We can still do some bad shit things.
I consider Travis to be like the wild card. Like, you know, if we're stuck on something and if he comes up with something stupid and then the train starts rolling.
Yeah. That's it. What did you guys think of it overall?
I liked it.
Well, I was in it, so I loved it.
I like that I fucking acted in it this time and not just sort of read.
It's just an overall improvement, like altogether. I'm just glad that it happened, because that was my one fear, because I like the idea of Mystery Dungeon. When, you know, after we did it, and then a year later, we're like, oh, this fucking sucks. And we wanted to redo it. We've been wanting to redo it for like, what, a year or 2? Since after it was done? I don't even remember.
We wanted to at least redub it for its first birthday.
Yeah, it was a redub. I'm glad we decided to redo it then.
Yeah. It took us this long because we couldn't find a RAW for it until May of this year.
Yeah, it took fucking forever. I was going through torrents like for months. I was trying to, like, every now and then I'd be like, let me check if there's a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And I got lucky and I finally found one. Ironically enough, uploaded this year.
On the 4th birthday.
Oh, 4.
Somewhat disappointing. The RAW was 2 pixels too small for some dumb reason. So when I converted it so I could edit it, it squashed it slightly. So if you watch it, you'll see this kind of jiggling line in the middle of the whole thing.
To be honest, I actually noticed more of that in the preview clips, but after it was all done, I kind of ended up ignoring it and eventually forgot about it. So it wasn't like too bothersome at all.
Yeah.
Technically, couldn't that just sort of drive home the whole point that, like, this one was a dream this time a little bit?
Yeah.
And so when we realized, we're like, you know what, this is as good as it's gonna get. Let's just do it now, fuck it. Like, I can't be asked to go on another safari for it.
Yes, random use streamer. This was a remake of, it's a parody that we did in 2010. Like, if you look at it's under PMDA.
I think at the same time we did episode 2 of SFA.
Episode 2R, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's old.
It's super old.
It's the 3rd thing we ever did, and the first thing Yoshi and I ever did, just us.
Mm-hmm.
We wrote that script in April 2010.
I really like the Pichu scene where they just give him the fruit. It's like, wake up, this will help you sleep.
Yeah, I definitely feel like with this one, a lot more was done with just, like, you know, fucking around with the footage without any sort of context, more than, like, there were more of those kind of jokes than, like, in the first one.
I like to see it. I see it as like a good example of how to do an abridge, and not like in a circle jerky way, like, oh fuck, I'm a genius. I mean it in the, like, you know, because we fucked around with it so much. We did pretty much anything. Yeah. We said, no, they're not explorers. They're just idiots. They're superheroes. No, these guys aren't a bad team. They're just idiots. They're just depressing piles of shit. The whale can grow feet. Yeah, why not? We can do that because you can do anything when you're in a you can do anything when you're in a bridge when you're running in a bridge. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to follow episodic order. You don't have to follow the plot. Change whatever you want. If it's funny, it's funny.
You don't have to just make jokes where it's just like, hey, this happened in the original. Wasn't it silly? What?
There was one little thing like that, but that was mostly a shot at ourselves.
Now I turned it into a joke, and now it's not silly.
Yeah, the bit where Charmander says, volcano! His and Squirtle's conversation, all that is just a total rip at ourselves for the original script. Just how senseless the dialogue was. But that's pretty much everything on our list. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and answer. Go ahead and ask them. If you guys have any questions, answer them yourselves.
You guys have any questions? Bye.
It's on the quiz. Go.
Well, I mean, just the other night we finished up the main story of Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a fucking riot.
It was the best, and I'm so upset that the main story is over. There's still the DLC, though.
I'm really annoyed at our subscribers right now, because I uploaded the new Zelda part last night, and like 2 out of the first 3 comments were, I'm so glad you guys didn't upload Sleeping Dogs this time. Like, that's our best Let's Play, damn it.
I guess this is because we started uploading that more or something, because Majora's Mask went on break for a while.
I don't know much about Let's Plays, but I feel like the average Let's Play viewer just wants to see people play games they like, and not so much people being funny or anything like that, which is kind of stupid.
Or they just watch the first video and then the last one because they end up with the most hits for some reason. It's like, come on, guys, the good part's in the middle. The best parts are in the middle. And, in a way, we did kind of get our wish. Wei Shen is kinda in Smash Bros. 4. Mii fighters are now a thing, so if you ever wanted to make a Wei Shen Mii and give him a gun or a sword or his fist, then there you go.
Yeah, Gazuki, the LP convinced me to get Sleeping Dogs myself. I beat it in between part 11 and part 12.
That's another thing. A lot of the games we do Let's Play, I end up buying for myself, like Bioshock Infinite. Like, after part 1, I'm like, I need to get this game. This is fucking cool. And so now Sleeping Dogs, I want to get it, but I kind of need my money. I need to save it up right now.
This whole thing just reminds me that I haven't been playing video games in the longest time. Like, I think it's been almost a year since I actually sat down and just took a day to, play some video games or something like that.
That's kind of what this summer is for me. Like, once I got Mario Kart 8, that's all I did until I done everything. Now the only thing left are time trials in online mode.
I don't know, there's just been, more stuff happening in the real world to draw my attention than video games. Do I spend the whole day sitting in a room by myself playing Skyrim, or do I go into this big sweaty warehouse and bang on drums for a bunch of people drunk on Yingling? I think I want to do the other thing. And I think I'll have some of that Yingling.
Yoshi, Sleeping Dogs is pretty much cheap as shit right now on Amazon.
How much?
Like 15 tops.
Alright. Because the thing is, I have like $41 in my debit card, but I still kind of want to save it, so...
Steam sales are happening right now too, so...
Yeah, and I'm avoiding that. There's just nothing right now that I'm like,
Yeah, me too, pretty much.
And I still have a Steam library that I haven't even touched, so...
Me too, pretty much.
And I have a few console games I need to get to, and I've been putting it off a lot because I focus a lot on the stuff we do. Like if I'm not writing for one thing, I'm writing for Dash and Twilight. If I'm not doing Dash and Twilight, I'm Let's Playing. If I'm not Let's Playing, I'm blah blah blah.
Someone asked, what do you plan on doing with SFA in the future? We're going the same route it's going right now. If you mean the story, we're not telling you. If you mean in general, we're just working on other things right now, but deciding to end the team and then immediately deciding against it kind of made me excited to get back into doing SFA. So after Tamers 2 comes out, that'll be the next project I focus on.
And that man went off to tell his friends.
Who's your favorite character from any of the Abridged series, and are you getting tired of me? What?
Don't put that at the end. That's so mean. Hey guys, you like licorice, and do you hate me? No. I get a shirt.
Was that no to the licorice or no to hating me? I don't know.
We can assure you we don't hate anybody here. My favorite character for any of the Abridged is
Davis.
Davis for Tamers, Dororo for SFA, obviously.
I'm honestly not sure if Birdie or Mujo is my favorite for Jetters. Mujo's starting to get up there now.
Yeah, I like Mujo, but I think my favorite of the Jetters is Max. Especially when he just tosses the rose. He's just, I'm over it. He just throws. I was laughing so hard.
I actually like Bongo because he's so pathetic.
Poor Bongo.
Yeah. Nobody likes Bongo but me.
Like in the first episode when Birdie makes the pun or whatever, and they hit Bongo instead. Oh, I got this one. What's my favorite anime? Naruto.
The manga.
Okay, I'm kidding. It's Dragon Piece. Okay, so.
Just a cod piece shaped like a dragon.
It's a giant toe.
Well, we found it. End of series. I like it because there's a start and a finish. It's 1 volume long.
Can we put it away now? It's starting to attract flies.
Yeah, okay. End of series.
No, that's the spin-off. That's like Dragon Piece GT.
Oh shit. It's not canon then?
I don't fucking know. What's my favorite anime? I don't watch anime. Like, there's probably only been like a couple animes I've ever seen in my life that I've just barely tolerated. Though actually, a friend of mine showed me this one anime that I kind of like. It's this sci-fi parody called Space Dandy.
Oh yeah, Space Dandy's pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Maybe the same people who did Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo.
Oh, I've heard of those.
What's going on for Jetters Abridged? That thing, we just don't have a schedule. We work on it whenever we have the time to work on it. And we're working on other things right now.
Yeah, right now my focus is lesbian horses and Let's Plays.
Or lesbian ponies and Let's Plays, LP and LP.
See? It's everywhere. Try it now, hey.
And, knowing our schedule for Jetters, we're probably not going to get another episode out until next year.
This one is asking how long you guys intend to do Sergeant Frog Abridged.
Until we're sick of it, which could be at the end of season 3, so you never know.
It was supposed to stop at 2, but hey, look, it survived that. God damn, there's 52 episodes of Jetters. I don't think you're gonna do all of them. They probably have quote unquote filler episodes.
Yeah, Jetter's Picnic.
I think there is a Jetter's Picnic episode.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, we skipped it last episode.
Man, I sure like picnicking. Wait, they're having picnics? Fuck them, says Scout.
Do you guys have a favorite game? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry if we sound like kind of. It's just that we get these kinds of questions all the time, so it's like, yeah.
Would you care to expand? No.
I don't own any land. How can I do that? I'm broke, you guys. Come on.
No, I'm trying to lose weight. At this point, we're just fucking with the people in the chat, aren't we?
I know. It's reaching dad levels. Dad joke level. Would you care to expand? No, I like being thin.
I guess we'll call it here then.
All
right.
Bye, everyone in the chat.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Good night.
See you next time.
It's not night.
It's not even 5. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of it.